Hi guys, I'm here with Christy K. Strom. Christy, I've known Phil, your husband, for I don't know, probably about the same 20 years as Shiloh. So that's kind of how me and you would, I guess, say have a connection. Besides just how awesome you're doing in Body by Vi, can you please give us all just a quick testimonial, or tell us a little bit about your story and where you started and how you got started and how far you've come and where you're at today and how this is changing your life and other people's lives?
Yeah. I got started in February of 2011. I started just to be on the shakes. I wanted to lose some weight. I was using another shake and it was working a little bit, but I was starting to get really bloated. That, like, my stomach, it was not good.
Sure.
And I went to my doctor because I had had a surgery and I thought maybe it was because of that. And he said, no, you got to stop that shake. And I said, well, I really like it. And he said, well, find another one. So because I was at home and not working at the time, I was off, I was able to research, and just so happened my other friends started to do these shakes. So I got involved and I said, I don't want to sell it or anything. I've tried all that stuff, and what I want to do is I just want to try the shakes. So she says, yeah, no problem. So I thought, I'm just going to buy a bounce kit because, you know, whatever. And then I watched the video and I knew that I needed more than a bounce kit. So I bought a shape kit. I lost 4.5 pounds my first week, which my daughter was about 2.5, and I had only lost 14 pounds since she was born.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I think I'm interested in this a little bit.
Sure.
So a couple weeks later, I decided to join the challenge or whatever as a promoter. So I upgraded my kit to a promoter. I didn't find out about Rising Star. I wasn't sure what it was until about 2 weeks into it. So I just had less than 2 weeks to hit. So I did hit Rising Star at the end of the month, last day of the month. The next month, I earned my car. So that was exciting.
So you got your car in 1 month?
Yep.
After hitting Rising Star. So in 2 months, you had already been part of the Beamer Club. That's amazing.
Yep. And then I kicked myself for not working harder before, but it all works out. So I didn't find my car right away because I wanted an X5 and it had to be black. Right now you can buy black, silver, or green, but at the time it had to be black. And of course Phil said I had to buy a 4.4 because it had more horsepower.
Sure.
So it took me about 45 days to find my car. I finally got the car and I loved it. And then my business really started to build after people saw, okay, this is real.
And you're having
she's
success.
Happy.
Sure.
You know, she's succeeding. She's losing weight. I had some naysayers, but then they're like, okay, this is real. So things started to go really well then and really started to pick up. I don't even know when I hit national director. I don't know when I hit presidential director. I hit ambassador, which is the top level of the company, in October, I think, or September.
So you made it through the entire Visalis career path in how many months?
It ended up being about 8, I think.
About 8
7 or
months.
8. Now, there's different star levels I can get for ambassador and stuff
Sure.
like that, but it was it's amazing. I left my job of 12 years in the advertising industry that I loved dearly, but I found out was really killing me and making me miserable and making me not a good mom at home.
Sure.
I felt like I was working when I got home and I'd be like, Mom, and I'd be like, what? You know, it wasn't their fault. I was just so stressed out all the time. And I had to always schedule my family around my job, and I needed to start scheduling my job around my family.
Sure.
So in July, after being with the company for 5 months, I left my full-time career, like I said, of a dozen years, and I'm a work-at-home mom. And my youngest daughter goes to daycare 2 days a week. My other kids are in school. My one daughter's in 6th grade. I almost said 7. And my oldest daughter's in college. I've been able to help her out with some expenses with college that I wouldn't have been able to before. We probably just had our best Christmas ever. And it's just been so rewarding to see my friends succeeding, my family succeeding, and just everybody's lives changing because of it.
Sure. Now, out of the team that's out of Duluth, that you're the ambassador, I would say you've shown some wonderful leadership. What would you say are some of the most rewarding things that you've seen? I mean, can you give us some stories about how Body by Vi has changed the community down here?
Absolutely.
You're 10 months into it. We've got a new team. We're starting up there. We're getting momentum. But I think a lot of people need to see a little bit of vision of really how you're changing lives down here, because I'm just blown away by it, and I am so impressed that I want to do this full time because I see the difference that you're making down here. Can you tell me just a few stories that I think will touch some of the people and really give value to some of your hard work.
Well, one of my favorite stories is about my family. My stepdad has always been very overweight. He's struggled with his weight. He's tried different things. Nothing's ever worked for him. He was born and raised on a farm, meat and potatoes kind of guy. And he just had a hard time losing weight. He's tried so many different things. And I wanted him to try this, and he wouldn't, and he wouldn't, and he wouldn't. And finally, he wouldn't come to my house. He finally came to a party we had at a hotel. So finally, he says, fine, I'll try it. So I thought he's got to start right away because he can change his mind now in the next 5 days before his stuff comes. This was a Thursday, so we had a weekend in between there and stuff. I said, I'll tell you what, run to my house. Phil has some mix. You guys can just replenish mine when you get yours.
Sure.
Within the first couple of weeks, he had lost 20 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Which was, that's faster than people do. It was great for him because it gave him that kickstart that he needed. We're into it now about 6 months, and he's down over 50 pounds.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, and it really, I don't like to say it can save people's lives, but I truly believe it saved his life. He was on several different medicines. His doctor now said his bad cholesterol is good for the first time ever, and he has to raise his good cholesterol. He's never had any sort of these problems. So that was amazing. He was on track to get gastric bypass, the lap band, or a new sleeve, it's called. And I've seen firsthand with other people that are now on the Strom.AVI challenge how detrimental that can be. A lot of people lose their hair because they can't absorb nutrients anymore. There's a lot of icky side effects to it. So I was very happy to help him. With me, I'm able to spend more time with my kids. And I never pictured myself as a stay-at-home mom. I'm very ADD. I'm like a ping pong ball. People call me a hummingbird. Like, I'm all over the place. And I thought, I can never stay at home. And I absolutely love it. It's been the greatest gift I can give to my family. Right now my daughter's at daycare. She goes a couple days a week. She can come on appointments with me, or I can just set up childcare for a couple hours if I have to. But I can do so much from home now. So we can find our socks in the morning, and they're matching, and we're out the door on time, and we're not yelling, and always, going 110% just to maintain. It's a fun, fast-paced lifestyle, but at the same time, it's more relaxed because my schedule is now built around my family instead of the other way around. I have so many people that under me, like on my team, that have become job optional. Kelly, who we're sitting with, became job optional and fired his boss. He's opening up a shake shop, which we're sitting in, which is pretty incredible. There's just so many people that we have another gal, and I can't really say her name because she's trying to leave her job, but she's almost to the point where she can do that. And it's just really sucking the life out of her. And it's really hard for her sometimes to even get through the day. And she read me her story of her why and why she's doing this, and I was sobbing like on the other end of the phone. But it can mean so many things for people. People are bringing in income for the first time. They're stopping a bankruptcy that they were going to do. We have people that are laid off that can barely scrape up the money, but they know how important it is and how fast it can grow. And we're helping people lose weight. We have somebody who in 86 units of insulin a day to 15. We have people that have fetal alcohol syndrome and ADD that this helps them with just because of the nutrients in it. People with Hashimoto's and thyroid disorders that have never been able to regulate anything before, and it's just been incredible. It's with the health benefits and the financial benefits, and the time freedom and the financial freedom are just things I've only dreamed of before.
What do you think of the word passive income now?
Well, passive income I always kind of dreamt of, but when you work for 2 hours, I can go do a shake party. I could come up to your house and do a shake party. And for that 2 hours of work with Visalis, I can get paid for months, even years on that. Because what happens is people, they're on these auto ships, a consumable product. They love the product. Most of my customers and distributors are getting their product for free, so they're on it every single month. All they pay is like $10 a month for shipping. So every month I have this residual passive income, and it's incredible. 2 hours of work can have me customers that are on board with me for months that turn into promoters because they have so many referrals that can lead to national directors, to presidential directors, to ambassadors, and it blows my mind. I mean, it's really is incredible.
You get to learn the term leverage, absolutely.
Absolutely.
How many people would you say on your team now in the last 10 months have earned their BMW?
We're about 30 now.
30 BMWs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now this month I mapped it out, and I think we have about a dozen. And let me tell you, when someone earns their car, you know, sometimes you'll be working with their team. Like, you may be close to your car, you may not even know how close you are, because we are on the sidelines, like Shiloh and I are on the sidelines and behind the scenes working with your team, saying, hey, Eric is so close, guys, let's get this in and get this in. You're working with this person, can we get him in? And then we get to call you and say, hey, go to your dashboard. And I'm in Shiloh, I called her and said, hey, you got it. And I still cry. And we called Heidi, and you know, it's just not about the car, it's just achieving these goals that you never thought were possible. And some people are like, I have only dreamt of earning a BMW, and now it's in my driveway. I mean, it's just a really incredible feeling knowing that you can really achieve whatever you put your mind to.
Would there be anything that you would say to anyone watching this tonight who has possibly just seen our shake video, who has maybe seen our presentation, who is just being introduced to the product? Is there any words of advice that you can give us from someone who's been there, who's laid the groundwork, someone who's put in the time, someone who's fought for their freedom and earned it? Is there any advice you can give us? Is there any words of wisdom, anything for us to close on?
Sure. One would be to talk to Eric, because I had a conversation with Eric this summer, and that was probably 5-6 months ago. Would you say, Eric?
It was 6 months ago, yes.
Okay. You talk to Eric. I'll say talk to Eric. It's all about timing. Everything has happened so fast for me, and one thing I got a little caught up in is I wanted to know everything. I'm like, I gotta know this, I gotta know this, I gotta know this. Nobody expects you to know everything. All they want to know is it works. They're gonna see results, and people love that, and that's really what works. So I just say, sign up, get started today, put your head down and run. If you have questions, we are here for you 24/7. Everybody on Team Believe is awesome, and we work upline, downline, sideline, crossline, everything. And we just have a wonderful community and team, and it's an incredible opportunity. And I can honestly say, I truly believe this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I just say, get started, put your head down and run.
What do you think we're going to do to the range?
We're going to blow it up.
Thanks, you're awesome.